তাদেরকে মেরে ফেলা হয়েছে, তাদেরকে আসলে পরবর্তী সময় আর পাওয়া যায়।
I think they don't actually know what they're talking about.
আমাদের বসে রাখছে যতক্ষণ ওরে না মারা হয়েছে।
দ্বিতীয় গুমটা মূলত হয় আমাকে মেরে ফেলার জন্য।
Sheikh Hasina's return to power in 2009 marked the beginning of one of the most brutal chapters in Bangladesh's history. Her government didn't just silence opposition. It perfected the art of making people vanish without a trace, leaving families to wonder if their loved ones were alive or dead. Over 700 people were victims of enforced disappearance between 2009 and June 2024, according to data from the human rights organization Adhikar. Behind each statistic lies a family destroyed, a life shattered, and a democracy smashed underfoot. Today we're talking about Aynaghar, where many people have gone, but only a few have returned. What is Aynaghar? What lies inside it? And who first unveiled its secrets? We interviewed Tasneem Khalil, the journalist who first exposed Aynaghar. He revealed how he discovered this secret facility and shared insights from his investigation.
This whole investigation started a few years back when Sheikh Salim, a young Bangladeshi man who was then in Malaysia, he called me and we started chatting. And he was telling me about this very brutal and bizarre secret prison. That's why actually we started looking for this place, because Salim did not know what this place is, where exactly this is located, so on and so forth. But he remembered some minute details, what kind of food was served, what kind of mineral water bottle was there, sort of some features of the facility like a collapsible gate. So we started from there.
Inside Aynaghar are subjected to inhuman conditions. They are held in windowless cells with high ceilings, illuminated only by a single bulb.
Anyone who claims that, this is so common, I think they don't actually know what they're talking about.
Hasina's government didn't just target individuals. It terrorized entire families. During Hasina's autocratic rule, opposition activists didn't just face arrest or disappearance. Their loved ones became targets too. Late BNP leader Mahabubur Rahman Bappi's elder sister, Jhumur Akhtar, said her brother was first subjected to enforced disappearance in 2011. Some people who identified themselves as Dimi detained him in front of the Newmarket police station. He disappeared for 22 days without any trace. Later, police filed an Explosives Act case against him, showed him as arrested, and kept him in jail for 3 months. Later in 2015, Bappi was injured in an accident involving a heater blast at home, and hospital authorities refused to treat him after learning his political identity. Police then accused him of bomb making, arrested the injured man from the hospital, and tortured him to death. But the persecution didn't end there. After Bappi's death, they arrested his sister Jhumur, placing her on 10 days remand before keeping her in jail for 6 months. When Jhumur was finally released, authorities held her daughter hostage to force the arrest of Jhumur's husband, a man with no political connection whatsoever. He spent 2 years in prison. These are the detention cells where human beings were buried alive, kept in darkness for years, subjected to physical and psychological torture that broke minds and
Now
spirits.
prosecutors are building a case.
Many victims were kept here on fabricated terrorism charges. Tasneem also explained what the government was trying to achieve by labeling innocent people as terrorists.
But what we have found in Bangladesh is that the war on terror that was being prosecuted by Sheikh Hasina and her regime was mostly fake. Like, we have found evidence that the government actually, or the security agencies actually created fake terrorist groups. The government actually ran something called sting operations, where absolutely innocent people were brought into a network of jihadis, and then they were abducted and put in secret prison, and then later shown arrested in these trumped up fake terrorism cases.
Another victim is Kausar Hussain, a BNP activist who disappeared in 2013, leaving behind a 3-year-old daughter. 11 years later, his daughter Lamia is now 15 and has only a single photograph of the father she can't remember.
তখন আমার মা তো 3 বছর ছিল। তোমার স্মৃতি মনে আছে বাবার? না, মনে নাই। আমি বাবাকে তেমন দেখি নাই।
When his family tried to file a case, no police station would register it. Their excuse? Political disappearances were beyond their jurisdiction.
শোনার পরে বলছে যে এটা রাজনৈতিক বিষয়, কোনো মামলা হবে না।
The victims' children suffered a lot, and some of them had faced difficulties admitting in schools as they don't know if their father is alive or dead. After Sheikh Hasina's fall, many victims from Aynaghar were returned to their families. Kausar's daughter and wife are questioning why their loved one has not returned.
আর এখনো আমরা খুঁজতে আছি। 5 তারিখের পরে তো আমরা আশায় ছিলাম যে আসবে।
Aynaghar survivors revealed that Hasina's security forces were systematically brutal to them. Michael Chakma, a Buddhist activist, was imprisoned for over 5 years in a windowless cell simply for criticizing military abuses and speaking out against Hasina. He lived in complete darkness, hearing only exhaust fans and other prisoners' cries. His family believed he had died and held his funeral. His father died from the grief of losing his son.
আমি যে ফিরে আসবো সেটাও তাদের বিশ্বাস করতে পারছিল না। তারপর অপেক্ষা করতে 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 তারা আমার শেষকৃত্য তারা করে দিল।
When Michael was finally freed from Hasina's downfall, he couldn't remember his sister's phone number and had trouble seeing in daylight after years of darkness. Hasinur Rahman, a military officer with 28 years of service, disappeared for 18 months simply for alleged militancy connections charges, which he strongly denies. As a Bir Pratik award holder, his loyalty to Bangladesh was unquestionable. Yet, Hasina's regime treated him like an enemy of the state.
আমার কথা হলো, আমি এই সেনাবাহিনীতে 2 বার গুম হই। একবার চাকরিরত অবস্থায়, তারপর ওখান থেকে আমাকে জোর করে প্যাকেজ করে জেলে পাঠানো হয়, নির্বাচন পর্যন্ত আটকে রাখা হয়। তারপর জেনারেল ইগল করে ফেরত নিয়ে আসে। তারপর আমি স্বাধীনভাবে ছিলাম কিছুদিন, তারপর আবার আমি দ্বিতীয়বার গুমে ডিজিফাই করতে। দ্বিতীয় গুমটা মূলত হয় আমাকে মেরে ফেলার জন্য। আমাকে বলা হয়েছিল আমি কু করবো, তো এটা বললো সেন্সিটিভ লোকজন। আসলে এখন যে খোঁজখুঁজ দেখা যায়, ওটা তো কু ছিল না। ময়মনসিংহ থেকে কথা বলতো আমার কাদের মেয়ে, রোহিঙ্গা বংশভূত, নাইকিংছড়িতে তার বয়ফ্রেন্ডের সাথে। আয়নাঘর ডিজিএফে রাখা হয় দীর্ঘমেয়াদী কনসেপ্টে, আর যাকে টর্চার করবে তার মেরে ফেলবে, এটা চলে যায় র্যাবের কাছে।
এই বন্দীদের কোনো তথ্য পাওয়া যায় না, কারণ আমরা ধারণা করছি যে এইখানে যারা ঢুকেছেন তাদেরকে মেরে ফেলা হয়েছে, তাদেরকে আসলে পরবর্তী সময়ে আর পাওয়া যায়।
Mayer Daak is an organization that represents families of victims of forced disappearances of opposition members and activists.
আমার মা হাজেরা খাতুন উনি আমার বোন ওরা সবাই ছিলেন র্যাব অফিসের সামনে, কিন্তু বারবারই ডিনাই করে। তারপরে আমার মা তখন এই প্রেস কনফারেন্স করে 8টা পরিবার যে প্রথম দাঁড়ায় যে তাদের সন্তানদের ফেরত পাওয়ার জন্য। সেটা হচ্ছে 2014-তে প্রথম দিকে। যে আমরা মনে করছিলাম যে 5ই জানুয়ারি ইলেকশন, তো হয়তো ইলেকশনের অপোজিশন অ্যাক্টিভিস্ট ইলেকশনে ধরে চাক তারপর ছেড়ে দিবে। তারপরে ওদের কোনো ছাড়েও না বা তাদেরকে কোথায় রেখেছে কি করছে এটা কিছু জানাচ্ছিল তাদেরকে।
They have been holding gatherings for nearly 12 years, where families ask authorities to find their missing family members. Hasina Khatun created this organization in August 2014. Her son, Sajidul Islam Shumon, was a well-known BNP leader from Dhaka's Shaheen Bagh area. He was picked up with 5 others on December 4, 2013, allegedly by the RAB. Shumon's sister, Sanjida Islam, said they met senior RAB officers after her brother went missing. She said the officers informally admitted to picking him and the others up. It has been almost 12 years since her son disappeared. When asked Hasina Khatun if she still hopes her son will return, she broke into tears. Sanjida Islam Tuli, one of the coordinators of Mayer Daak, continues to demand justice for her brother Saiful Islam Shamul. She believes that a section of the officials loyal to the Awami League who are responsible for her brother's disappearance were behind this operation. Sanjida Islam faces many difficulties running this organization. Once, RAB raided the building while foreign journalists came to interview.
বলি আপনাকে যে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল টিমটা আসে, ওরা যখন আমাদের সাক্ষাৎকারগুলো নিচ্ছে, জানছে ঘটনাগুলো, তখন হচ্ছে পুলিশ পুরো রাস্তাটা ব্লক করে সিভিল ড্রেস সহ ইউনিফর্মে, এবং আমাদের গ্যারেজে পর্যন্ত ঢুকে যায়। কে আসছে, কেন আসছে, কী করতে আসছে, এবং 3 ঘন্টার একটা সেশন, আমাদের ডে লং প্রোগ্রাম ছিল ওটা। 3 ঘন্টার মধ্যে শেষ করে সাংবাদিকরা বের হয়ে যেতে বাধ্য হয় অন্য আরেকটা গাড়ি নিয়ে। এবং পরবর্তীতে তাদের যেই টুলসগুলো ছিল, ক্যামেরা, পরবর্তীতে আমরা যে পৌঁছে দিয়েছি তারা, এবং ওই গাড়ির পেছনেও যেটা মোটরসাইকেল মানে ফলো করে যে এমবাসি পর্যন্ত যায়।
When Hasina's government finally collapsed, more than 200 people emerged from secret detention facilities.
Most were critics of the
living
government,
ghosts who had been presumed dead.
An elite countered.
Michael Chakma walked into the rain after 5 years without sunlight. His sister, who had already held a funeral for him, could barely believe he was alive. But for every survivor who emerged, there were countless others who never made it out. The accurate scale of Hasina's brutality may never be fully known, as many victims remain forever silenced in unmarked graves or undiscovered prisons. Sheikh Hasina's 15-year rule revealed how quickly a democracy can transform into something unrecognizable. A state where the government's primary function became terrorizing its own people.
Reality emerged.
Aynaghar was not an aberration. It was the logical endpoint of a system that chose power over humanity, control over justice, and fear over freedom.
Secret torture.
But in the end, it was the courage of the survivors and the love of families that outlasted her terror. Bangladesh's future now lies in ensuring that the horrors of Aynaghar are never repeated, and that the voices of the disappeared are never forgotten. This is Gitiara, and we will meet some other day with another investigation.